Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some incredibly fun battles in the Kanto Cup featuring Shadow ZAPDOS. These battles were submitted to the channel by a fellow content creator, KANTO, so many thanks for the battle submission. Shadow ZAPDOS is an incredibly powerful closer in the Kanto Cup, boasting a 95% win rate in the 1-0 shield. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Shadow ZAPDOS destruction in action in the Kanto Cup. Hopping into the first match, leading Nidoqueen into the mirror. This is always a tricky mirror match, as a failed bait or no shielding the opponent's nuke can be incredibly dangerous. Farming up and going straight for the earth power, hoping the opponent calls it, and they do, almost getting the KO. At this point, you can very safely shield, farm down, and leave with an incredibly healthy Nidoqueen, which he's able to do. Opponent brings in Lapras and is going to save switch into the Shadow Magneton. For this first battle, Shadow Magneton is running Zap Cannon, and then for the rest, it is running the standard moveset of Discharge. Able to get a shield with the Magnet Bomb, and Lapras is going to be firing off a move. Magneton lets through the Surf, that does massive damage, but able to reach the last second Magnet Bomb. This will hit for some solid neutral damage onto the Lapras, which does give up its final shield. Lapras does have energy, going to bring in the Nidoqueen to force it to throw, and then I think you just trust in Shadow ZAPDOS, because Shadow ZAPDOS up a shield is incredibly dominant, and in the back they have Pidgeot. Shadow ZAPDOS is about to go off. Overfarms massively and going straight for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt taking down Pidgeot, bring back in the Lapras. Shadow ZAPDOS smelling blood in the water, taking down the Lapras as well, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, picking up a terrible lead Nidoqueen into Alolan Sandslash. This is a massive core breaker for the team, so Nidoqueen is forced to stay in. Ice Punch is not going to be enough to take it out, but it will definitely do a lot of damage. Nidoqueen going straight for the Earth Power, but Alolan Sandslash will respect it with the shield. Alolan Sandslash is going to fire off another Ice Punch. Nidoqueen choosing to let itself get taken out, and now going to bring in the Magneton to try and get the KO. Magneton is going to fire off the neutral Magnet Bomb. This will be doing some big damage onto the Sandslash. Sandslash does have enough for a Bulldoze here. Going to respect the Bulldoze, but they bait with the Ice Punch, probably so they can get the guaranteed damage of the second Ice Punch off. Because Shadow Magneton, even against resisted moves, is extremely glassy. In the back, the opponent has Hypno. Going straight for the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb gets the final shield, and now ZAPDOS has that ever important shield advantage. ZAPDOS beginning to farm up a ton of energy, has to shield everything here from this Hypno. Overloads on energy and is going to start firing off the Drill Pecks. Drill Peck number 1, nice amount of damage. Fires one more Thunder Shock and is firing off Drill Peck number 2. This will be taking care of the Hypno. What's in back? It's Beedrill, and Shadow ZAPDOS able to sweep the endgame again. Drill Peck taking down the Beedrill, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Nidoqueen into Lapras, another tough lead. Going to stay in with the Nidoqueen and try and play it out as best as possible. Lapras overfarms slightly and is going to fire off the Surf just before he's able to reach the Earth Power. He will commit the shield, and he's going for the Poison Fang bait, hoping to try and grab the shield from the Lapras, but the Lapras does not fall for it. Farms up and is going to fire off the second Poison Fang on what should be a CMP tied to the Surf. Poison Fang lands, and Lapras is going to be able to take out the Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, down on shields, but should be able to get a nice farm with the Shadow Magneton. And Shadow Magneton with energy is very scary. In the back, they have Hypno, going straight for the Magnet Bomb. This is not enough to one-shot, but will do a nice amount of damage onto the Hypno. Able to get through an extra fast move and choosing to commit the final shield, so Shadow ZAPDOS will actually not have any shields available in the back. Firing off the Magnet Bomb onto the Hypno. Magnet Bomb does get the shield. Overfarming and going to fire off the Magnet Bomb on what should be a CMP tied to the next punch. Gets the shield from Hypno, and now shields are down. Things looking a lot better for Shadow ZAPDOS, and in it comes. In the back, they have Dugong. It's going to be a race. nice. ZAPDOS gets to the Thunderbolt first, and this is going to be GG's for Dewgong. Taking down the Dewgong. Shadow ZAPDOS gets to the Drill Peck, taking down the Hypno as well, and the rampage continues. Hopping into the next match, picking up yet another tough lead, Nidoqueen into Alolan Sandslash. This Nidoqueen cannot catch a break. Sandslash is going to fire off the Ice Punch. Nidoqueen tanks it, this time choosing to go for a Poison Fang bait, hoping to try and get the shield, and the opponent is going to commit the shield. That's massive. Opponent does not want to get hit with the Earth Power. They're going to fire off a second Ice Punch to take down the Nidoqueen. But the nice thing is, this Sandslash is now debuffed, meaning that a Magnet Bomb from Shadow Magneton should be enough to take it out. Magnet Bomb takes down the Sandslash. We'll have to see what they have in the back. They have Primeape, and an immediate switch is needed. Brings in the ZAPDOS. Primeape is going to fire off a move. ZAPDOS kind of has to shield everything here. Shields up the Ice Punch and is going to fire off the Drill Peck. And this will be grabbing that final shield from the opponent. But then ZAPDOS should be able to reach a move, but the opponent brings in a Alolan Muck, and unfortunately these poison jabs are tearing through Shadow ZAPDOS. I don't think Shadow ZAPDOS is going to be able to get to 3 here. Things not looking great. Going for the undercharge of the Drill Peck, needing to get energy on the Magneton. This is going to be tough. Magneton shields. It's an Acid Spray. Magneton is one off a move. Does Primeape have it? They do not! And Shadow Magneton reaches the Magnet Bomb. That will be taking down the Primeape. And that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, Nidoqueen into Hypno, the bad leads continue. Choosing to stay in this lead, has 2 decent responses in the back, but choosing to stay in and try and play it out with the Nidoqueen. Going to be firing off the Poison Fang. Poison Fang does get a shield from the Hypno, which is fantastic. Going to let this go, hoping maybe it's a Thunder Punch, but it's a Fire Punch, and that's going to be taking down the Nidoqueen. And Fire Punch means that Magneton is going to have to respect it as well. Opponent is going to immediately save switch into Alolan Muck. This Magneton is loaded, firing off the Magnet Bomb. That does massive damage, but Alolan Muck is able to reach a move. Going to respect it. Unfortunately, the Muck hits them with the Acid Spray. Magneton massively overfarming to the back-to-back and going to fire off the Magnet Bomb. This will be taking down the Alolan Muck, and if the Hypno comes back in, which it does, then Hypno is going to have to shield up. Magnet Bomb fired off, gets a shield from the Hypno. Hypno's gonna throw. At this point, you just save the shield for Shadow ZAPDOS, because we've seen how deadly it can be. In the back, they have Eradicate. ZAPDOS farming up, going to be using that final shield to get as much energy as possible before it starts throwing. ZAPDOS is going to be at the back-to-back Drill Pecks, firing off the first. That does big damage onto the Eradicate. ZAPDOS over farming and now going to be going for that second Drill Peck. That's going to be taking down the Eradicate. In comes the Hypno. ZAPDOS able to get to the Thunderbolt, and this will be game over. Thunderbolt takes down the Hypno, and the reign of ZAPDOS continues. Hopping to the next match, Nidoqueen is finally catching a break on the lead as it picks up a pretty neutral lead. Nidoqueen into Shadow Snorlax. Nidoqueen doing what it does best, firing off the Poison Fang. This Shadow Body Slam from Snorlax is going to hurt quite a bit as it's able to connect. Opponent is going to save switch into Hypno, which is going to be met with the Shadow Magneton. Shadow Magneton tried to CMP to a punch, but Hypno went for the extra, and now they're in entire confusion ahead. Hypno farms up to 7, and they lose CMP on the Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb takes down the Hypno, and the opponent loses so much energy. The opponent does get a nice farm on that Shadow Machamp, but the 2 remaining Pokemon both do quite well versus Shadow Machamp. Going to be shielding up the Nidoqueen, just so Nidoqueen is going to be able to debuff that Machamp with the Poison Fang. Poison Fang gets the shield, in comes ZAPDOS, and ZAPDOS will be met with Snorlax. ZAPDOS is going to be firing off the Drill Peck as soon as it gets it. Snorlax is going to commit the shield, but the issue Snorlax is going to have here is that ZAPDOS just straight up outpaces it. ZAPDOS shielding up the Body Slam. ZAPDOS is going to slightly overfarm, and this again should be game over over with Zapdos fully sweeping, because back in comes Shadow Machamp. It's not gonna outpace the Zapdos. We've seen this story before. Zapdos closing strong, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading into the Nidoqueen Mirror. Opponent is going to immediately save switch into Lickitung, and he's just going to stay in here. Nidoqueen does have a pretty decent matchup versus Lickitung, especially after you land that first Poison Fang, as that makes Lickitung a lot more manageable to deal with. Opponent is going to fire off the Power Whip, Nidoqueen shaking off the damage and going straight for the Earth Power. With the debuff, this will KO if they let it through, and they do, and just like that, down goes Lickitung. Opponent is going to bring back in their own Nidoqueen, but they're going to be forced to throw here. They are going to fire off the Poison Fang, but this may not be enough to KO. Poison Fang barely able to hang on and reach a last second Earth Power, and this is going to guarantee a shield from the opponent. And giving Magneton a shield advantage here is very nice. Magneton is going to be firing off a Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb able to get the opponent low, and I believe this is enough for a potential Earth Power. Respects it. The opponent goes for the Poison Fang, and in the back they have Shadow Snorlax. Magneton firing off the Magnet Bomb. Can we get the shield? And he does. And now it is time for Shadow Zapdos to close out this match. Zapdos is going to be shielding up the Body Slam, and then just needs to reach the back-to-back Drill Pecks. Oh, instead going for the Thunderbolt. Is this Thunderbolt going to be enough here? It almost is, but able to farm down. Back in comes Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen does have a Poison Fang, but Zapdos should be able to tank this. Zapdos, it's a simultaneous KO, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, taking Nidoqueen into Alolan Raichu. Opponent is going to save switch into a Poison Jab Alolan Muck, which is going to be met with the Shadow Magneton. Magneton is able to outpace in this matchup, which is quite nice. Able to grab a shield from the Muck. Muck does have enough for a Dark Pulse, choosing to respect it, and thank goodness it is not an Acid Spray bait. Magneton overfarming quite a bit and going to fire off another Magnet Bomb. Does the opponent want to give up the final shield? They do not, and able to win switch. Back in comes the Alolan Raichu. Firing off the Discharge, I believe Magnet Bomb does slightly more in this situation, but either way, 2 moves are going to be enough to take out this Raichu. Firing off the Magnet Bomb, Raichu has to shield this or get taken out, and down goes Raichu, and in the back, they have Blastoise. Shadow Zapdos overfarming a ton of energy and going straight for the Thunderbolt, hoping the opponent decides to call the bait here. They do not. Zapdos still able to reach a second Thunderbolt. Shadow Zapdos shutting it down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the final match, picking up a Nightmare lead, Nidoqueen into Mudslap Kangaskhan. This team is ABA weak to Mudslap, so definitely not a Pokemon you want to see. Unfortunately, he throws on alignment, which allows that Kangaskhan a free Mudslap. Choosing to let this go, calling it a power-up punch, should be able to reach a Poison Fang here. Nidoqueen tried to reach an Earth Power and unfortunately loses all that energy. In comes Zapdos, and unfortunately the game slightly lags. Zapdos is going to commit the shield on the crunch. That would have done massive damage. Zapdos looking to overfarm quite a bit in this matchup and then fire off the Drill Peck. This way Zapdos has an energy lead versus whatever they have in the back. Down goes Kangaskhan. In comes Raticate. Zapdos almost at the back-to-back Drill Pecks, firing off Drill Peck number 1. That is going to get the shield and able to reach Drill Peck number 2. This will take the Raticate below half health, and then it's all up to Shadow Magneton. In comes Shadow Magneton. Raticate is going to fire off some energy before Magneton is able to take it out. Shields up the crunch and going straight for the Magnet Bomb. No overfarming here whatsoever. Magnet Bomb takes out the Raticate. It's a Golbat in the back, and that is a good game. All in all, these were some incredibly fun battles featuring Shadow Zapdos in the Kanto Cup. I'll be honest, I was not expecting Shadow Zapdos to do that well in the endgame, but with a shield advantage, my goodness, it can absolutely dominate in the endgame. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.